Hey everybody, it is Mark Dolfini, Landlord Coach. Okay, today we're talking about checklists. Why you need them and why you probably won't use it. Let's go ahead, drop the needle, and get this thing going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
That's right, I know some of you people just can't wait to see me chair dancing. Truly the highlight of your day. One of the highlights of mine. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. It is such a beautiful day outside, just a great day in general, and I hope you are doing well. And welcome to the Landlord Coach Daily Show. So today we're going to be talking about just trying to get organized, right? And the way to do that is through the use of checklists. And I know that some people are really checklist driven, and some people, they see the value in it and they're just thinking, oh my God, I'd rather do anything else. But I know as a dad and a husband, I'm an owner of several businesses. There's lots and lots of different things to handle, right? And I could see, you got to think about this from all those different aspects. If I was going to incorporate a checklist into my world, let me think about this. So as a dad, I've got, the kids' karate and their school schedule, the birthdays, anniversaries, right? All those things that come up. Some things are very redundant and kind of everyday things, and some things just kind of pop up on you, right? They pop up or need to be dealt with, or things that are not so consistent. Maybe things that like I said, things that come up once in a while that need to be dealt with. Doctor's visits, dentists, things like that. As a husband, you got anniversaries and birthdays, and again, things that come up that are not normally in the operational part of our lives, right? So these are just the things that as a dad and a husband I'm thinking about. But then I'm looking at as an owner of several businesses, I've got my daily tasks at work and my mountain of emails that come in every single day. And the tasks at work are either they're kind of redundant and monotonous that come in all the time, and then there's non-redundant tasks that come in and are dealt with in a very different manner, right? So all of these things are coming in, and as I'm looking at my life and how all of these different tasks are coming to me, I have no systematic way of doing them, right? So it's almost like, especially when all of this stuff was new, as being a new dad, I was almost waiting until there's an emergency, until my bride comes to me and is like, okay, look, we have absolutely no food left in the house. There's there's 1.5 muffins and a half-eaten banana and a can of tomato soup that I'm pretty sure is too old to eat. It was almost that bad, where it would get to be a almost an emergency that we couldn't even we'll just go ahead and eat out, right? Because it was just easier. So these are the sorts of things that, there's lots of benefits to having a checklist, especially if you're a business owner, and especially, let me be, loyal to the brand here for just a second, especially if you're trying to be a landlord or operating a real estate business, whatever it is, right? Checklists are definitely, there's just so many positives to having them. Just as an example, a checklist would help you not have to remember so many things, right? I mean, if you think about it in this way, really a calendar is nothing more than a checklist. It just tells you a day that something has to be done, or a day that something needs to be celebrated, or dealt with, or that sort of thing. But also from that perspective, it also can help you deal with non-routine tasks. Like I was saying, in a calendar basis. What about, taking this to your property, whether you own a rental business or not, if you have your own house that you own, cleaning out the gutters. When's the last time you actually flushed your water heater? That's supposed to be done at least once a year, right? And there's people out there that kind of go, yeah, I can't think of the actual last time I actually did that. But if you had a checklist to do that, then you would know to do that sort of stuff, right? Or, schedule cleanings for your furnaces, or all these different things. Or when's the last time you checked your radon pump? Who knew that was a thing, right? All these, in these modern houses, as they get more and more modern, they need more and more continual maintenance. That's why a checklist is absolutely critical to these sorts of things. And also it helps with consistency, especially if you're in business for yourself. Having a consistent message, or not consistent message, but having a consistent product can be delivered through the use of a checklist, right? So today we're talking about checklists and why you need one and why you probably won't use it, okay? Here's the reason you probably won't use it. And this is the negative, right? This is the downside of a checklist. You just won't. You might say, I can tell you all day long about how great a checklist is, why you should get it, why you should use it. I mean, I should have a checklist to organize all my checklists, right? Just all these different things. You can take weeks and put together an elaborate set of reminders and all these different things, and you just still won't use it. You actually have to actually work the checklist. I remember in my days as a Marine aviator, I was a navigator, so I had a checklist that I had to operate by, and they drilled it into us that no matter how routine the tasks were, you needed to look at your checklist, because if you did something either out of order or you can't, for example, you couldn't align the INS while you're in flight. It just wouldn't work. You had to align it while you're on the ground, so you couldn't obviously align it, after takeoff. You had to align it before takeoff, right? These are the sorts of things like in a rental property, you can't send in the cleaners before you send in the painters, right? So there's, the checklist makes sense. I read a book a while ago it was called The Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande, and he was a surgeon that was working with the World Health Organization about how trying to reduce the number of central line infections, which was just it was actually a fascinating book to listen to. I didn't actually read it because I don't know that I could have got through it, but it was just a really, really good book in terms of why checklists are important. Here's the one thing that they didn't talk about in that book, though. Not everybody is going to use them. They just don't have the personality to use a checklist. They're just not going to do that. That's why it's important to have the right team in place to help you do that. Now, let's fast forward here to the use of a virtual assistant. If you have a virtual assistant that has the skill set and kind of the risk tolerance and personality, personality skill set to actually use and check a checklist every single day, then they can basically be your personal assistant. You don't even need to have a business to have someone like that can check in on you, right? Now, this is a lot of other stuff that I cover in my course, Becoming a VIP in the Rental Business, which you can check out at landlordcoach.com. But what I'm saying is that, yes, there's a bunch of checklists in that course and all sorts of stuff to help you take your rental business to the next level. But if you're not going to use them, it doesn't mean that the checklist or the tasks just go away. It means that the tasks don't get done. And then all of a sudden, that water heater that you could have extended the useful life by 6, 7, 10, 12 years now becomes much less has a useful life because you didn't maintain it well, right? Just as an example. So when you can do stuff consistently, that makes a big, big difference in terms of managing things more consistently, giving yourself a more consistent product, giving yourself a more consistent return. And whatever business you're in, I promise you can benefit from the use of checklists, but just make sure you have the right person in place to monitor that and manage that for you, just in case you're not. Okay? So that's that. Now, without any further delay, your most favorite portion of the show and mine, the most ridiculous item of the day. That's right. So ridiculous. Oh, I cut her off a little bit early. Sorry. But so ridiculous. So I'm so excited about the most ridiculous item of the day because this is truly, God almighty, it's so awful. So, yes, I want you to imagine, go to a place in your brain for just a second. Go to your place in your brain for just a second and think about if Betty Crocker and Hannibal Lecter hooked up and gave birth to a kitchen. All right? Now, take a look at this kitchen. Yes, that is butterflies amok all over the kitchen cabinets and walls and wherever. Yeah, that's a lot of butterflies. So that's a nightmare waiting to just kind of manifest itself in your own personal mind, in your own bedroom. Can you just imagine that? Yeah, that is, I don't even have words for that, actually. So I'm just going to leave that there. And so that is truly the most ridiculous item of the day, is the Hannibal Lecter, Betty Crocker Kitchen. Okay. That's all I have for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today for the Landlord Coach Daily show. I hope you found this to be helpful, educational, inspirational, whatever you need it is to get you through the afternoon. Again, my name is Mark Dolfini, Landlord Coach. And if you are a YouTube subscriber, thanks for watching. Both of the people who are watching this show, I appreciate both of you, right? But please remember to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. But again, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. Take good care.